It's 1899. An evil terrorist with superior weapons and technology is trying to take over the world. Get me the Avengers. Not born yet. The Justice League. Not a thing. Fantastic Four? X-Men. Well, what do you have? A team composed of public domain characters from classic literature and books. I can dig it. Some of them are not the main characters. Others are retooled. Rights issues. Got it. But what do you call these guys? Well, that sounds like you're overselling it. Okay, fine. Send in the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. Dear historians, this is an alternate history. Most things in this universe will be different. For example, technology is a bit more advanced for the time. Supernatural creatures exist, and Firefly premiered much earlier and ran for much, much longer. We open with a tank attacking London in 1899, and the cops are totally unprepared to handle this. We need a Chinese man with a shopping bag, stat! They're here to steal Leonardo da Vinci's blueprints of Venice. This was before you could just download that stuff. The bad guys are led by the Phantom, spelled this way, and not like this guy. The cops are apparently no good at this, and for some reason the military isn't an option, so we need something a little more extraordinary. Time to assemble the team. First stop, Africa, to bring in Alan Quatermain, played by Sean Connery.
And I'm not the man I once was.
At first he's reluctant to join, and it takes an assassination attempt that disrupts his quiet little retirement to bring him aboard. Say what you will about a guy Sean Connery's age, but he could still kick ass on screen. On to England, to meet this universe's version of Nick Fury, known simply as M. I hope to God this isn't a Bond in-joke. Going by the actor Richard Roxburgh, I'm betting bad guy. We meet the rest of the team and their fields of expertise. Captain Nemo, played by Nasruddin Shah, has a wickedly tacky submarine. Sorry, didn't see you there. Ha! Don't forget Master Thief Tony Curran as Rodney Skinner, an invisible man. Not the Invisible Man from the original works, but another royalty-free version of the Invisible Man. So it's not just a total sausage fest. Mina Harker, chemist, played by Peter Wilson.
I'm waiting to be impressed.
Yeah, Mina Harker. From the Dracula novel? Not a clue. She was played by Winona Ryder in the... Okay, you get it now. It's the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, not the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen and One Woman. Hello? Joining the roster is Dorian Gray, played by Stuart Townsend. Immortal as long as his aging portrait is kept safe and he doesn't look at it. I'm the same way with my high school yearbook. Oh yay, this guy again. This time, they're aided by Tom Sawyer, played by Shane West, U.S. Secret Service agent. Just go with it. It was spoiled in all the commercials, but Mina is a fucking vampire. Surprise! And she used to date Dorian. Double surprise. What a small literary universe. I heard she used to fuck Tarzan in college. They still need more muscle, so they recruit Dr. Jekyll, played by Jason Fleming, and his baggage, Edward Hyde. You know, I didn't know Mr. Hyde had a first name, and I never would have guessed it would have been Edward. He looks more like a Nicholas. He agrees to help them for amnesty. What crimes he did commit as Hyde, they don't really go there.
Dr. Jekyll, at your service.
So now they have their Hulk. 35 minutes in, the team is fully assembled and traveling to Venice by Nemo's sub, the Nautilus. They look like they got that thing from one of those really tacky furniture stores you see at the mall. Bonding, get it, with Sawyer, a sort of father-son, good-with-guns relationship. Sure, he's old and crotchety, but I bet this young whippersnapper melts his old heart. Careful, man, he's just trying to get in your will. Dorian gives Mina all 50 shades with the oddest fucking seduction ever. But I guess if you're a vampire, this is pretty hot. I'm not here to judge, but Dr. J is getting really pervy here. Especially when he starts choking himself.
I'll not have the brute free upon my ship.
Your talk is all well and good, sir, but your own past is far from laudable.
What past? I was young, I needed the money. Suddenly, stuff starts turning up missing, like Jekyll's formula, and a plot. Along with some other odd clues, indicates there is a spy among them. Let's see, you have a hunter, a government agent, a mad scientist, a vampire immortal, a sea captain, and an invisible thief. Gee, I wonder who the culprit is. The Phantom is planning to sink the city of Venice, which is the location of a conference of world leaders, and that would be bad, yada yada yada. The gentlemen are a bit late when bombs start going off and Venice starts sinking block by block. Now it's a car chase to get in front of the explosions. Sure, why not? And we get a showcase of our hero's abilities and courage, except for Dr. Jekyll, who is suddenly in his Bruce Banner I don't want to be the Hulk anymore phase.
Then what good are you?
No need to be a dick about it. To stop the chain of explosions, they blow up one of the buildings with a missile. I'm no engineer, but that makes perfect sense. This is why you wire your bombs in parallel and not serial. I'm on a list now, aren't I? Their plan succeeds, which includes complimentary death scare by Tom Sawyer. You can't die now, we have fences that need painting. Oh, and by the way, the traitor was Dorian. Can't say I didn't see it coming. Quartermain tracks Phantom for a little one-on-one. It turns out this medieval Destro is actually M, the guy who recruited them in the first place. I told you that guy was evil! We're only halfway through this thing, so of course he gets away. Back at the Nautilus, Dorian gets away with a pretty odd-looking escape sub, but not without giving a little something to the ladies. Nobody thought of shooting it? You're holding guns. Everyone's holding guns. You shoot at everything else. What are you afraid to do? Scratch it? Are you out of bullets? Is Nemo uninsured? Shoot the fucking thing! They give chase and discover a recording left behind by our bad guys. They keep trying to bring back vinyl when it makes villains sound like they're really there. Oh no, Loki's fucking with them! Long story short, this was all a big plan to acquire some stuff M needs to turn into weapons. Vampire blood, Invisible Man's skin samples, good luck looking at that under a microscope, Jekyll's formula, and details of the Nautilus. Wow, check out that tiny spy camera. I mean, where is it? I can barely see it. Are you sure there's even one there? No longer useful, they are dismissed. With bombs. The sub is badly damaged and flooding, but Mr. Hyde to the rescue, just the thing needed to get Jekyll to embrace his darker half. You've got a friend in me. Just in time to receive a radio message from the invisible guy. See, he wasn't our saboteur. In fact, he snuck on board the mini-sub with the bad guys and tagged along to their hideout and got a message back to the team. Keep in mind he did all this naked as a jaybird. It actually wasn't hard to find them, just follow the red line. That is an old joke and I will continue to make it. Reunited with Invisible Guy, and he's still naked. In the Arctic. Never mind his genitalia is probably inside out by now, but how is he not frozen to death? And give this man some pants. My nuts have been resting on your thigh for the last half hour. They get filled in on the bad guy's operation. M's been busy, making lava lamps, building children's toys, salt and pepper shakers, and infringing on Nemo's copyrights. I think he's got a lawsuit there. That being said, they work awfully fast.
The brute's potion, the vampire's blood, the Indian science, and mounted samples of invisible skin.
Do not move, Em. Or would you prefer Professor James Moriarty?
Yeah, Sherlock Holmes' arch nemesis. Does this add anything to the story? Not really. The third act is mostly our heroes battling their counterparts. Vampire versus immortal. Ooh, right in the baby maker.
If that had been permanent, I'd have been very upset.
Good thing he has a little painting for that thing. They have their own evil invisible man, so Rodney should be fighting him. And then he gets to take on a flamethrower guy. How many mini-bosses does this level have? Now it's M versus Quartermain. Okay, this is the least interesting fight. Moving on. Hulk versus Hulk. Okay, what the fuck is that thing? It looks like somebody glued googly eyes onto a hemorrhoid. Why do I suddenly want an apple fritter?
I hoped I'd get to nail you one more time.
That line would make more sense if he shot her with a nail gun. She was stabbed, not nailed. But you can't keep a good vampire down. Mina nails Gray, hey, his words, and shows him a little deadly selfie. Just kidding. Call off the lawyers, J-Bay. No, I hate that pic. Delete it.
You ever get tired of being wrong? The League? Me?
Passing on Gandalf when you had the chance, but you didn't understand the script? But Quatermain is badly wounded, and now it's up to Tom Sawyer.
Get him!
Because Tom's always saved the day. And our main villain, the architect of this whole thing, the big bad, the enemy number one, is shot in the back while escaping. Well, isn't that heroic? The world is saved, Quatermain dies, and is buried on Genesis, Africa, whatever, and they hint heavily that he's coming back. It's too bad that Sean Connery hated working on this movie so much it made him quit acting. So much for a sequel. That was The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. There was a small subplot with Quatermain taking Sawyer under his wing to teach him how to kill more efficiently, and it's the only real connection that I see between Quatermain and any other character. There's also Jekyll's love-hate relationship with Hyde, where he eventually accepts the darkness. Hey, whatever gets him laid. But everyone in this movie is bland. No wonder M goes out in that phantom persona, because as a villain, M was a letdown. Moriarty was a man capable of giving Sherlock Holmes a run for his money. He's a criminal mastermind, the Napoleon of crime. Here, he's just another megalomaniacal Bond villain. This guy is always running from the good guys, and he goes out like a sucker. Cinematography isn't too bad, but the effects are all over the place. Hyde was okay, and I kind of like the way his transformations kind of jump cut from state to state, almost like a tribute to the old werewolf transformations. But that bad Hulk looked like a damn cartoon, and the Nautilus looked like something from the Franklin Mint. We get little teases about these characters' backstories, but I shouldn't have to refer to the source material to fill in the blanks, especially when they deviate so much from the source material. The action is plentiful and well-paced, even frantic at times, but sometimes the bad effects really hurt it. A proposed sequel would have had with the War of the Worlds Martians involved. That sounds amazing. Too bad we'll never see it. The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen gets a 2 out of 5. It's big, loud, and absurd. It's a fun watch, but with the weak effects and bland characters, it's pretty forgettable once it's over.
I'm waiting to be impressed.
If you like this video, give a thumbs up and subscribe. Or not, no pressure. This is theNewBee, and as always, thanks for watching.